This is, right now, the cheapest motorized 3-axis gimbal for mirrorless cameras and DSLRs. And usually cheapest means a lot of shortcomings. How many of them can we find with the iSteady gear? Time to inspect. In this review, I'll show you the iSteady gear and compare it with a stabilizer which is of its own class, the DJI Ronin S. You probably know the Ronin as perhaps the best in its class because it has a lot of awesome features. But like every smart device, it has its glitches from time to time. And I wanted to figure out how far from the Ronin S is the iSteady gear. $799 versus $299 US. Which one should we choose and why? And what is different between both? These are some of the questions that are probably flowing in your head. For a start, a few words about the Ronin S, and for this gimbal you may find a huge collection of footage, reviews, and people who praise it. It is of course a phenomenal device, but keep in mind that besides being awesome at tech, DJI are awesome at marketing. They sent over a bunch of free samples to the right people, and social media and YouTube is full of good examples of why the Ronin S should be bought. Feels like having an iPhone. You never dare to say a bad word about your device. Of course, this doesn't make these devices bad, because both iPhones and DJI products are setting trends, and usually they do it the right way. So, the Ronin S. The build quality is so superb that just touching it will bring a weird smile on your face. Materials are of great quality, everything clicks and fits perfectly. It's like a magical combination. The box is actually a carrying case, and this is something admirable, no waste of resources, and at the same time it gives the perfect level of protection. Only drawback is the bulkiness. There are also some weird decisions, like this screw, for which you need either a screwdriver or a coin. Unbelievable! I've shown you all that so that you feel the difference with the iSteady gear. Right now this is among the top devices in the company's portfolio. Not the most expensive one, because there are two more sophisticated gimbals offered. So we should expect to see good quality and possibly well-working features. You know that I'm focused on showing you more budget solutions, and this is perhaps the cheapest 3-axis motorized stabilizer for DSLRs and mirrorless cameras right now. That's how the retail packaging looks like, and honestly, it doesn't feel cheap. There's a nice carrying bag included, well protective, and it's nice and tidy inside. And especially if we put it side by side with the Ronin S, it takes perhaps 1/3 of the space that the DJI gimbal needs. You can fit it in a backpack or in a suitcase, there usually will be enough space. But we're talking about a gimbal, so portability is not the leading component. We start examining the gimbal piece by piece, and it all feels solid. Metal construction feels very durable. The grip has softer coverage and is also used for installation of the 2 batteries powering the show, and luckily these are the 18650 type lithium-ion batteries, very easy to find and more importantly very cheap. You can significantly extend the shooting time with minor investment of $10 to $20 per battery. At the time making this review, there still is no spare battery pack released for the Ronin S. Sometimes simple means reliable and can be quite an advantage. Concerning functionality, this is where things are becoming quite different. The iSteady gear is mostly basic, although saying this at the end of 2018 means that it is better than most gimbals, even the high-end solutions from 2-3 years ago. There are 4 different modes of operation, and you can change them via the multifunction button. The default is pan follow. Tilting and rolling are locked. Double press brings you to the pan and tilt follow. The triple press will enable the all follow mode. It doesn't firmly stabilize, but smoothens the experience and may turn the footage into something similar to action cam recording. And there's a 4th mode, quadruple press locks all the dimensions. It is very important to properly balance the gimbal before you power it on. If it is imbalanced, there will be vibrations, the horizon might need adjustments, and overall you could expect complications. Each camera will have different settings, and switching the lens may also require readjustment because a new lens will likely change the weight. At the end, it's quite easy to do these adjustments. Everything is quick release enabled and based on QR plates. The specs: tilting and rolling are limited to 320 degrees, and panning is 640, which equals almost 2 complete cycles. Not bad at all, and a pity that it is not unlimited. This is not as good as the Ronin, which does 360 degrees in each of the axes, and the iSteady gear cannot do the perhaps most popular move of the Ronin S, the 360 roll mode. Obviously, the iSteady gear does nothing too fancy, but is good at stabilizing. I noticed that it handles better cameras above 800 grams. The lighter cams need to really be well balanced, otherwise vibrations easily occur. There are a few features that can be extremely helpful. First of all, it has a smartphone app. Most of the angle controls and the motor reactions are fine-tunable. A time-lapse feature is also available, and it is really awesome. You can play around with the joystick responsiveness by increasing and decreasing the panning or rolling speed, and using the gimbal you can make some good-looking motions and stunning product close-ups. Most of these features are of course well covered by the Ronin S, and the DJI gimbal has a lot of additional smart features. Better app, better looking battery, better design, less limitation when rotating, and even controls for some cameras so that you can press the shutter remotely without having to manually touch the camera. Unfortunately, DJI can't hold up to some of the promises yet, having most of the Sony cameras without proper control. With the iSteady gear, your best shot is to hope that your camera might have a dedicated remote controller, and not all the motos have such. To wrap it up, 10 to 12 hours operation time, QR plates, remote control, overall lightweight, smartphone app with motion time-lapse, a joystick, customizable control buttons, and excellent portability. In my opinion, this is a steal at that price, and there's nothing as affordable and great as the iSteady gear. The closest rivals, coming from Feiyutech and Juwin, are around $100 on top of that price, and don't shine with many more features. As for rivaling the Ronin S, not really. The Ronin S is in its own class, and the conclusion is simple. If you actively shoot footage and need professional gimbal gear, there's no doubt that the Ronin S is the clear winner. But if you need something smaller, reliable, and well functional, which is going to be occasionally used and covers the basics and has some nice smart features via the smartphone app, the iSteady gear is a small revolution. 2 years ago, it was hard to imagine a good sub-$100,000 gimbal for DSLRs, less than 300 right now. Not perfect, but well worth the investment. That's been all for this episode. My name is Michael. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know how you feel by using the like and dislike buttons. Make sure to subscribe if not done yet. And I'll see you soon. Cheers!